Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Stan Harris, known as Dr. Breakthrough. I've got a special guest today, but I always got to give a disclaimer starting off. Y'all know it's Dr. Breakthrough. I can't provide a breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. However, when people follow my breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides a breakthrough they desire and deserve. And what's a breakthrough? It's exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. And our guest today, wait till you hear his story. Oh my goodness, wait till you hear some things we're going to talk about. But Damon Coleman, man, I call him the brother like no other. He's the master that helps turn around other people's disaster. He's too strong to be weak, too sweet to be sour. He can't take credit. It's all God's power. And let me change my background for this is the 90, making at least 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less. And this guy's done it over and over and over again and about to do it again. And so Damon, welcome to our how to make an extra 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less breakthrough challenge. And our special guest today is you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Breakthrough, for having me on. Man, I remember we met back in 2009, and you made a great impression. We met at Myron Golden's home up in Pittsburgh, and to watch both of you gentlemen impact as many people's lives as you have over the last now 17 years.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah.
long time. So
Yes.
be
I
on the
actually,
show, and appreciate you having me.
yes, well, it's actually Harrisburg, but yeah, but and then now to think that now you're a John Maxwell certified speaker. You were in Dallas not long ago, did a television show. I mean, bro, and you just all over the place making moves. So let's real quick get into this because again, summertime, a lot of people, especially in home-based business, they vacation, they take a dive, things slow down a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that people would accelerate and learn how to make an extra 9K or 90K in different arenas by listening to people who've done it. So have you, and I know the answer is yes, but I got to ask anyway, have you ever made an extra 9K to 90K in 90 days or less?
Absolutely. And you witnessed that firsthand because you and Myron were in my very first home-based business opportunity. And that's where I was able to get to over $50,000 a month in income in my first 9 months with that company. Since then, by the grace of God and hard work, man, I've been able to do well over 6 figures a month in this home-based business industry. And so, I don't take it lightly, and I don't take it for granted, but I know for sure, just like me, there's millions of people out there that didn't even know that this was possible without them having to go back to school. And sometimes even then that's not possible, or without having to take out an absorbent amount of student loans or get in debt, in terms of business loans, right through the home-based business industry. I was able to do this with just an investment of less than $1,000.
Wow. Well, and actually, Damon, I never forget when I first decided to do this. I always say what's more important and powerful than AI, artificial intelligence, is IA, inspired action. That is, you just take inspired action when the Lord puts a thought on it in your mind, right? And so I launched this, and I saw a video of you talking about some things, and in that you said, and by the way, guys, I'm not a fly by night. I know this happened and this happened, but then I started again and made over 90,000 in my first 90 days. I was like, hey, that's a testimonial of what we're talking about. I got to interview him for my series. So you've done it over and over again. And you were owner or part owner of a company or have your own product and whatever. And so tell us a little bit about that because you've done this a couple different times.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've learned is to make a decision, to
Mm,
take action. You know, if it makes sense to me, I've always had this idea that I'm not the only one that's smart. I just know it. Like if I can see this,
come
I
on.
someone else is going to be able to see this. And my case in point is I found out that you could get rich and wealthy just by sharing something great with other people. Well, fast forward 8 years into my health and wellness journey, I was fortunate enough to be able to start my own feminine hygiene brand, which was a campaign where we educated men, women, and children on the harmful effects of some of today's tampons and sanitary napkins. And my company, within the first 30 days, did 5.6 million in sales
Wait,
because of
wait, 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 wait. You're going too fast, too fast, too fast. Somebody just like, there's driving demand. They pull over on the service road. What did he just say? Say that one more time in the first, what now?
we were able to accomplish over 5.6 million in total sales in our first 30 days with menstrual pad. And believe it or not, my top producers with my company were men. And I'm talking about Barney Rubble, Fred Flintstone guys, like men. And the reason being is because we all have a woman in our life that we love and care about, that if we had some information that could change or save their life, we would share it. And so we had men on the front line of our campaign, and we were able to do that strategically through launching. And it was just a dream come true, man, to make the kind of impact.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, just to put this in perspective for folks, Booker T. Washington said something very positive and powerful, Damon. And that is, and first of all, let me just also say, man, you're such a gentleman, man, and family man. I see videos of you working out with your children every day, man. It's just, that's just so refreshing and amazing. And so I want to thank you for that, bro, and thank you for the integrity that you stand for, and work ethic, by the way. So don't forget about that one, right? But because I posted on Facebook the other day, I'm willing to work for everything I prayed for. You got some folks to mind, they just pray and they sitting there waiting on God. And you're like, look, my philosophy is simple. I posted the other day, WPHH. And somebody said, what does WPHH stand for? Well, it's what Damon does. I interviewed Jeff Curley earlier, is what he does. And that is wake up, pray, hustle honestly, right? There's such a thing as a dignified hustle, but we got to go back because you hustled before without a dignified hustle. So let me back up. So Booker T. Washington said this: success should not just be measured by what a person accomplishes. Here's the key. And I adjusted a little bit to put the Dr. Breakthrough spin on it, but what a person has to break through in order to get that. So in other words, both people can accomplish the same thing, but the one that had to break through more barriers, and limiting beliefs and all that, that person is even more successful. And so I know, life wasn't always easy for you, and you wasn't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. So I mean, it's amazing what you're doing now, but to get here, and I know you recently had a birthday, and was able to get a vehicle that you wanted and desired, but you weren't always here the right way. So bring us a little bit up to speed if you don't mind.
Absolutely. But first, I got to give you a heads up. When you see my next post that says, I'm willing to work for everything I prayed for, I'm going to give you credit one time. And after that, it's mine. Okay. Because that is phenomenal. But I've always been willing to work for what I prayed for. And as a little bitty boy growing up in poverty, I was the third oldest of 8 children. So from the
Mm.
age of 9 years old, man, I had to be responsible, changing diapers, fixing bottles, burping babies, cooking, cleaning, passing out little pops licks on the legs because I got toddlers as siblings. And it taught me responsibility. But I had a stepfather who was very abusive. He taught me how to work, but he beat the crap out of me in the process. Now, as much as I hated that, he saved my life because I grew up in a very drug infested community to where by the time you 12 or 13, if you're not selling drugs, something is wrong with you. So
Mm.
by the time I was 10 years old, because of working with my stepdad, he made me work like a grown man, and if I didn't do the job right, there were severe consequences to pay. All right. And so I would take, we lived in a 1,100 square foot home. We had a one-car garage right in Ferguson, Missouri, where Michael Brown was shot, in the back. So I grew up in Ferguson, went to Ferguson Middle, and in this very low income community, I would cut grass, rake leaves, shovel snow, and that's how I would get my hair cut. That's how I could contribute to the house, everything like that. And then by junior high, sixth grade, I'm selling candy. By 13, my friends already selling crack, and I'm just like, scared to death of my mom. Back then you could hit your kids and
Yeah.
not go to jail. And mom exercise her right to the 10th black belt degree, right?
Your mom and my mom was the same.
Man, yeah. And so didn't want to break my mom's heart, because my older brother was selling heroin. He was only 17, and I wanted to do something different. But by the age of 15, my dad got clean from crack cocaine. I moved in with my dad, and man, I had all this freedom and I was away from my mom. And so
Mm.
that was my start of selling drugs my freshman year in high school. And I did so up until I was 28 years old on a very high level. I stopped at 28, but that was 6 months before I got indicted by the grand jury of the United States. And they put me on the front page of the newspaper saying I was facing 5 to 40 years in prison for cocaine and marijuana conspiracy. So, by the grace of God, I only got convicted for the marijuana. The reason why I still have to go to federal prison is because it was for over 5 tons of marijuana, which is equivalent to about 10,000 pounds of weed. Okay. Long before it was legalized, and even being legalized, you still can't sell 5 tons of marijuana legally on the streets. But I did time in Leavenworth. The most I could have received was 7 years. The minimum was 5 based on the guidelines. And because I pled guilty, part of my plea agreement, they will lower the amount, which lowered the sentencing guidelines. The maximum amount of time was 4, minimum was 3. Judge gave me 3. I served 19 months on the 3. Okay. I got released March 7th, 2007. But man, while I was in there, I read every personal development book I could get my hands on it. I used my gifts, all the things that I've learned, because I also was a real estate investor. I did mortgage loans. I had a barbershop beauty salon. So I'm in prison teaching guys real estate, teaching guys mortgages, teaching guys how to cut hair. I got I went to Nazarene Bible College. I studied Bible hermeneutics, and I got a B.
Come on.
I learned
Congratulations.
how to study the Bible in Hebrew and Greek, man. So I really maximized my time. And what that did was prepare me for what was to come. Because when I got out of prison, I thought I was getting back into real estate, but it was in 2007, the market crash. That's
Mm.
how when I met. Everybody was trying to figure it out, man. And here comes this network marketing, which I'd never even heard of before, and got involved in 2008. You know, crushed it, man, by the grace of God. You were part of that crushing. You was a top leader in the company. And again, this is how I met you and Myron. And it's been a journey, but yeah, it's been a
Well,
journey.
I know recently you just found something again that you called me about, and you said, Doc, again, like I told you, man, I only collaborate with companies. You set my, if they had me speak, you said, well, I'll tell you, all I could do, big bro, is I'll set you. You come to this meeting, speak. I'll have the people there. I think they're gonna love you, and of course that happened, and now they got me scheduled to be at the convention, everything else. But one of the things you told me though is like, Doc, I found something that now you're now doing that all over again. The runs you had before, you said was nothing compared to this. And so in our closing moments, maybe somebody saying, yeah, well, man, I hear what you're saying, Damon, and I'd like to maybe work with you or be mentored by a guy like you because, I mean, man, for where you came from and you broke through all that, and now you're doing some stuff. So what are you doing now? Let the cat out the bag, and you're taking some folks with you. What's going on now that you can actually you're taking people by the hand and taking them into the financial promised land because all this that you've done before was preparation for you to really blow this up. Tell us about
Yeah, it was preparation because I got educated on plant-based nutrition and adaptogens about 10 years ago through my holistic doctor, and she took care of my whole family. I was married to a medical doctor for 17 years. Unfortunately, we divorced in 2023. However, we're still good friends. And what I could tell you is they don't teach her anything about nutrition in medical school. And so when we start taking these plant-based supplements, I got better, she got better, our children got better. I can't tell you the last time any of us was sick, and I would refer my family and friends to my holistic doctor. And the first thing they would ask is, does she take insurance? And the answer is no.
it. Mm.
So only 3 of everybody that I love and know ever even went to see my holistic doctor. Well, fast forward 4 months ago, I get a call. Matter of fact, 6 months ago, I got a DM by the owner of this company that said he'd been hearing a lot of great things about me, just wanted to connect, and he wasn't trying to recruit me. I wish he would have been trying to recruit. Got involved in the business right away. Well, 4 months ago, a gentleman reached out to me that I've been good friends with, who's the VP of marketing for the company. And he just said, hey, man, I just became the VP of marketing for this company. Could you hop on a Zoom and tell me what you think about, what I'm doing? I said, no problem. I get on the Zoom and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I'm seeing that the company has plant-based nutrition and adaptogens, which in my 18 years have been in this industry, all we've ever sold are synthetic vitamins, which are not bad, but they really only treat. The body can only start to cure itself when it has what it needs to do so in the form of plant-based herbs, adaptogens, and nutrition. And so I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I see the price point. I'm like, these are the most affordable products that I've seen in 18 years. And we have all these testimonials of people being able to, walk away from prescription drugs and people being able to get their life back because they're not in so much pain and dealing with all the side effects of all these different medications. And I said, oh my God, this is amazing. And then the caveat for me, Dr. Breakthrough, was this. This is the bioelectric analyzer in which you got scanned, your wife got scanned, I got scanned. We just been scanning away because it gives you 45 key functions in terms of what's going on inside of your body in just 2 minutes. From your cardiovascular, gastrointestinal, your liver, your kidney, your colon. I mean, from the rooter to the tutor. We letting you know where you stand with your health. And after the scan, you get a comprehensive report that tells you what your body needs so it can start to heal itself. We don't make any claims to heal anyone, but we just provide the products and the products do what they were intended to do. When the body has what it needs, then it can perform properly. Man, I want to say before I say another word, major congratulations to you. You are 60 pounds down after being on this protocol for only 4 months. You look phenomenal. You beat me in arm wrestling when I saw you in April, okay? And I want my lick back. Since you lost all that weight, I think I might be a good competitor now. Because I'm like, man, you in your 60s, I work out every day, and you gonna do me like that in front of everybody?
Well, let me show them a little testimonial, and I appreciate you for again sending me some of these products, man. And I tell you, it's been life transformation. Right, day number. Oh, okay. I got to share my sound, I guess. But yeah, so folks, again, these products work. I'm a living proof of it. And the scanner is the bomb.com. And so again, thank you, Damon, for reaching out to us. So here you go, folks. With this breakthrough fast using the Vital Health products, 309. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Watch and see what happens. All right. Day number 9 on these products. Day 15 of my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. Starting day number 20 of my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. That was 309 when I started. Day 25, my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. Already day number 34 of my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. Day number 50 of my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. Day number 60, my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. Come on. Alrighty, 254. Come on now. Day 71, number 80. Day number 80 of my Breakthrough Vital Health Fast. 249. Come on.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Folks, again, we always say, we always have to give a disclaimer. And again, my friend, there's no guarantee of success. The information testimonial should not be considered a promise of your results. Everyone's results may vary based on many things. We can only promise an equal opportunity for all who apply themselves. But I know those you listening, you're going to be the type of folks that apply yourself. So we know you're going to get some great results. But I tell you what, that scanner, bro, my wife's more of the medical field, thing. I'm a few credits away from doctor of naturopath, helping the body get healthy, putting the body in homeostasis, proper balance. When that happens, the body does what God designed it to do, which is to heal itself. But my wife had just gotten her blood work back from the doctor. And when she was scanned by David Nieves, literally 2-3 minutes, he was able to tell her, well, the results told her everything the doctor said and like 5 to 10 times more. And so but the key though, Damon, then it shows you what nutrient you're lacking in, right? Because whenever a doctor would tell my wife, well, you need this medication, I said, baby, you don't have that kind of deficiency. Your body is deficient of a nutrient, not the medication. The medication is treating the symptoms. What's the root cause? What's the issue? So anyway, so it tells you when you get scanned what nutrient your body is lacking in, and then it prescribes the product that has that nutrient. My wife was ready to buy it. I said, baby, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now she'd been watching me talking about, oh, baby, you're looking good. It's doing great. But she wasn't doing nothing. She's ready to buy now after the scan. I was like, we already got the product. So guess who takes the products every single day now, right? So again, that's amazing. But so Damon, so you're doing that again now, extra 9K to 90K or way more, and you're willing to work with people and take them with you. So give us a couple minutes. Why would someone want to consider, well, I think they ought to consider working with you. I mean, I'm working with you because, like I said, I'm the easiest guy in the world for anybody to recruit on the company. All they got to do is get me speaking and training, get me to collaborate, and when I speak, then I invite people to come hear me, right? And people get started. I'm thinking about Nikki Cruz. Literally within 4 days, I think it dropped 3 pounds and was feeling 10 times better. And she had done a Facebook Live, and somebody's like, "You are looking so much better. What are you doing?" Right? And so again, and that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. So, Damon, somebody says, I'm excited. I hear what you've done. I see what you are doing. I'd like to be part of it. What do I need to do, or what can we do?
Yeah, so I mean, you can definitely reach out to me, but I could tell you this is very different from anything that I've done outside of my feminine hygiene brand, which was very mission driven. I've always believed in everything that I've done, but
Mm,
never before have I had something for everybody. My feminine hygiene product saves lives, but women's lives. These products you can provide for your children, male, female. There's no age in terms of, you know, limitations, right? And so this is by far the most mission driven company I've been a part of. And so, first of all, I would say to anybody that's open to earning 9,000 in 90 days or 9 to 90K in 90 days, you know, look at the mission in terms of the amount of people we're able to help. Jim Rohn says your income is based on your level of service that you are able to provide. And I
mm,
don't know better service that we can provide than to help people live a life of vitality. These are not only some of the highest impact products that I've ever used, they are the most affordable. One of the biggest challenges in my industry for the last 18 years, the products have been a luxury. So when people are not making money anymore, they stop buying the products. There goes your residual. Here, whether people are earning income or not, they're buying these products and they're staying on these products. My dad had kidney cancer. They removed his kidney in January. I scanned my dad in July the 5th, the day before my sister's wedding in St. Louis. His uric acid was in the red based on the scanner results, and his numbers were very high. I went back last month. I did a health fair at my dad's church. He was the first person I scanned. He'd been on a protocol for 5 weeks. I said, Dad, let's see if your results change. He's now in the yellow. And
come on.
I could have cried, Dr. Breakthrough, because my dad has one kidney. He said, Damon, I will be on these products for the rest of my life. I only have one kidney. I got to take care of it. So look at this not just as a money opportunity. You look at this like a mission. We are a mission driven company with mission driven people and mission driven products, and we're providing the greatest service I believe God has allowed man to do. And that he said his word says he desires that we will be, and not only that we will prosper, but we will also be in good health. And now we've matched health and wealth together, and we're creating a movement where people who have never been an entrepreneur before, who've never promoted any type of goods or services before, are now able to earn an additional income by helping the people first that they love and care about the most first, and being able to take that messaging like you did with Nadia, man. I mean, you've been a walking billboard. You didn't tell Nadia to start taking these products. The scanner did, and now she's getting the results. And so yes, you can reach out to me. All you have to do is let me know that Dr. Breakthrough, you saw this interview with Dr. Breakthrough, okay? And I would know how we got connected, and I'll be more than happy to work with you, help you get your health in order. And if you're open to the possibilities of what we could do together, help you take your finances to the next level.
Wow,
You can
wow.
find me on Instagram. I think they can see my name here on the screen.
Yes.
I'm on Facebook as you see my name. I'm on Instagram as you see my name. And we love to be able to help you guys get to 9K, 9 to 90K in 90 days
Or more.
or more. Definitely more. Yes.
Yes. And again, I appreciate again what you're saying because every speaker basically is saying similar things. If you want to make money, find a way of bringing value to the marketplace. And this is great value. As a matter of fact, I thought they ought to change the name of the company to The Price is Right. But I also attest, like I said, the products they work. Nadia and I, the company was gracious enough to fly us out to Mexico. And thank you. You helped set that up, and we got a chance. What I was really impressed with is There's some companies that I've worked with, and they have great prices, and they claim that everything is healthy and organic and all that, but they don't own the manufacturing. So they go based on taking the word of the manufacturer. This company, they own the manufacturer. They don't do anything unless it's cash, by the way. And so we were able to see everything and to meet with the owners, and just the spirit, the love, the compassion. As a whole different atmosphere, a whole different feeling. And I told David and James, a couple others, I've been on about 40 different fly-ins. I mean, and I said this one was by far the best. And so anyway, so folks, again, I told you I'd bring some folks from real estate. I told you I'd help you, whether you just want to do it speaking, or through coaching, or through network marketing, or through cryptocurrency, or through insurance. I mean, we've had several different experts, and now you have another one, Damon Coleman, who just giving you some powerful, powerful things. So, Damon, what's closing word? Just a closing word or two. You want to leave with the folks?
Your health is your wealth. And if you don't invest in yourself, somebody else just might have to see you off before you're ready to go off. You know,
Wow.
and I'm not trying to be disheartening or take us from such a high to a low. But the truth of the matter is, what if my dad didn't know his uric acid was that high? What if my brother didn't know that his gut was in such bad shape? What if you didn't provide people with opportunities to be able to get off of that blood sugar, medicines that they've been on for so long, just destroying their organs, right? Prevention is better than cure. So yes, we're here talking about the possibilities of earning income, but let's talk more about the possibilities of you being around so you can enjoy it. Those are my final thoughts. Thank you so much, Dr. Breakthrough.
Wow, wow. So if you don't take time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. And we don't want that for you, my friend. And so let's get you like getting healthier, getting wealthier, and then the mind's going to teach, I'm going to teach, and you're going to get wiser. Those three, health, wealth, and wisdom. That's the way to do it. So, hey, again, my friend, we've just given you another powerful interview with some more impactful information. If, again, reach out to Damon, at least let him know you appreciate the information, let him know you appreciate what he's doing. And I'm sure that you want to share this with someone, because his story, again, sometimes people put a period, Damon, when God just put a comma. And so the
Mm.
prison time, some people, that's a period, and that's what the way they live the rest of their life. And you were like, oh no, it ain't nothing but a comma. And now you've broken through all that, my friend. And now you're able to identify and inspire people that I can't inspire. I was never in that type prison, although all of us have been imprisoned to something in our life. And many people, unfortunately, are imprisoned to skepticism and won't take a risk. But risk is the ledge that gives winners the edge, especially when it's calculated in your favor. So you can't go wrong with getting healthier, my friend, and you can't go wrong by helping others to get healthier, and then you in turn get wealthier. And so let's work together, you and I in demand, and let's make a difference in people's lives. Again, one of the many streams of income that I have, but again, it's one of the most important, because as Demond said, without your health, your wealth won't matter. As a matter of fact, if you lose your health, you'll end up having to use your wealth, and you might lose your honey with your money. And we don't want that to happen. So God bless you. We'll see you. Damon, as always, man, did a great job. We appreciate you, and blessings on you and your family.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Breakthrough.